Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
What up, though, Pistons fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show. Guys, got some breaking news. Shams just reported that the Pistons have acquired sharpshooting wing Isaiah Joe from the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for 2 future second-round picks. This is a great move for the Detroit Pistons. We know they needed spacing. They went and got it, right? Isaiah Joe is a career 40+% three-point shooter for a team that really didn't have a lot of spacing last year outside of Duncan Robinson, right? So for a guy like Cade Cunningham, he needs space. He needs to be able to operate. He needs to be able to get 2 feet in the paint. And he also needs to be able to have the lob threat available with Jalen Duren. And they just didn't have enough spacing across the board on the floor to be able to properly utilize that. And now they've helped themselves a lot in that department. So I think that's a really good pickup. And we know the reason he was available was because the OKC Thunder are just so deep. They've got so many guards over there, and they can't pay everybody. Between Cason Wallace and AJ Mitchell and Jared McCain, somebody was going to be the odd man out. And it looks like in this situation, Isaiah Joe was for them. And I think he's going to have much more opportunity here on this Pistons team for sure. Isaiah Joe is 6'4", and he has a wingspan of 6 feet, 7.5 inches. So pretty decent, right? Not the biggest guard in the world, but he is a very pesky defender. I would say he is an above average defender, and he gets after it defensively. And we know the Pistons, one thing they want more than anything, one thing Trajan Langdon wants more than anything, are guys who can score and create, but also guys who are willing to get after it defensively and who can at least give you average to above average defensive play. And that's something the Pistons didn't consistently have last year. As far as his contract, he's going to make $11 million over the next 2 years. The second year is a club option, so the Pistons don't necessarily have to pay him that second year unless they want to, but they have flexibility over the next 2 years. Isaiah Joe is also a champion, and that's something the Pistons really don't have right now with somebody on this roster with championship experience. We have guys like Duncan Robinson, who's been to 2 NBA finals with the Heat, but Isaiah Joe is a champion. And I think that championship experience, that championship pedigree is going to be very, very important for this young Pistons team who's still just getting their feet wet as far as getting deep into the playoffs. So now what does this mean going forward for the Pistons? Because now they are very guard heavy. And that's not even counting the guys the Pistons have been linked to as of late, guys like Norman Powell and Tyler Hero, for example. So this tells me that more moves are coming. The Pistons have a logjam at the guard spot, and they have to clear that in order to address some other needs like the power forward spot. So I definitely think more moves are on the horizon for the Detroit Pistons sooner than later. But this is a great move for the Pistons. They needed more spacing. That's been well documented. And now they have addressed that, at least in part. I wouldn't be surprised if they got a little bit more shooting, to be honest. But we'll wait and see. But I think this is a really good move for the Pistons. They get a two-way guy, a guy who can defend on the perimeter, which is very important. We know at times last year, guys like Duncan Robinson, for as good of a shooter as he is, best shooter on the team, probably still, he wasn't really able to guard as well as the Pistons would have liked to. The Pistons had to rotate and help a lot more than they would have liked to last year, especially in the playoffs, right? Duncan Robinson is a very willing defender, but he's just not the most skilled and physically gifted defender to be able to stay in front more times than not. And I think a guy like Isaiah Joe can do that a lot more. Does that mean Isaiah Joe starts at the 2? I don't know. Maybe the Pistons are still looking for a bigger name to add at that 2 spot, or maybe they're looking to add a bigger name at the 4 spot. We got to wait and see, right? But regardless of what they do next, they definitely have to make a move to clear this logjam at the 2 spot because they have way too many guards. They had way too many guards last year who couldn't get consistent minutes. We saw guys like Marcus Sasser get a lot of DNPs. He wouldn't play for a long time. Same thing with Caris LeVert. It just wasn't a consistent rotation because we just had too many guys, not enough minutes. So I think they'll look to make 1 or 2 more moves to address that and then go from there. But what do you guys think? Are you guys a fan of Isaiah Joe? Were you a fan of him with the Oklahoma City Thunder? Do you think he's going to be an impact player or not so much? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit the like button, the hype button, and subscribe if you are new. And we will have more updates for you guys as they come along. So with that, you guys know the drill. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
Welcome to the Dog Pound.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm scared of these damn Pistons. I'm very concerned.
Screaming, cheer it. Yeah, I cry loud, cause I said it got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the court. Be afraid when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, Jalen Duren. Pick your boys, they know I'm gonna war when Dana's a song. Be afraid. Yeah, I cry cry loud, cause you know we got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the car, be afraid. When you see the motorcade, watch it low. When you see us orange, feeling direct. Pick your poison, no, I'm gonna walk with them Highlander, so be afraid. It's the dog pound.